which means through that state of satisfaction, can you get rid of a virus? Can you undo the plaque in the artery? Can
you see what's happening?
undo
Again, you're
that
getting
thing?
too fast ahead of yourself, because you can get into satisfaction, but you can't think about the disease or the virus and stay there. When you stood before Jesus, dripping your illness, he did not see your illness. He only knew your wellness. And because he knew your wellness unequivocally, because that's what he practiced, that's who he was mostly. So as he saw you in your wellness and you believed in what you saw him see, in that moment you had no resistance. So there was nothing in the way of you and your desire for wellness. And so you received wellness. And then, do you remember what he said? Go forth and tell no one. Because he knew the first person you told would focus right back on the virus or the disease, because most of them are still facing reality. And you know, the thing that keeps you from moving toward the things you want is the reality that doesn't contain them. You're so good at looking at what is that your vibration is mostly about what is. How much money I've got, how many friends I've got, how many lovers I've got, if I've even got a lover, how well I feel, how much my nose is running today. We get it. We get why what is feels so dominant to you. We get it because you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. We get it. It's vivid, and it's meant to be vivid, because as you sift and sort through it, it's how you become decisive about what you prefer. It's all really, really good. But once your seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching has produced for you understanding of what you want, then you want to give more of your attention to where you're going, not where you are. Do you know what your greatest hindrance to your new desires coming about is? Do you know what that greatest hindrance is?
Right now.
Right now. Your observation and determination to get others to get you. Talked about the runny nose, and there it comes. To get you, to understand where you are. You want them to get you. You know why you want them to get you? Because when you're not standing where you want to be at very deep levels, you know something is wrong. Because you're supposed to be and do and have whatever you want. You are the creator of your own reality. Life is supposed to be fun. Life is good to you. That's what your inner being knows. That's what your inner being knows. That's what your inner being is broadcasting to you all day, every day. And if you find something that makes you think you know something different, you feel the offness of that. And so when you feel the offness of that, we have not said this before to you in this way. Feel the power of this new understanding. When deep down, you know you're supposed to feel good, and right now, for whatever reason you don't, you know something is wrong, you feel defensive. And that defensiveness holds what you want away. So now,
You know, I know.
it's a lot to think about, we know.
Well, I've listened to so many. I know you definitely don't want to focus on any of that. I guess the simple...
It's not that we don't want to. We refuse to.
Right.
Now, we can talk about the things that you're talking about, but we will never feel about them the way you feel about them. And so everything that you hear from us is us calling you in the direction of your desire. And the tug of war that you feel is not the tug of war between you and Abraham. It's a tug of war between what you want and where you are. It's your own vibrational internal tug of war.
I guess real simply, do we have the power
Yes.
to cure
Yes.
disease?
Yes. But you got to hook up to the power. You have the power to vacuum your living room floor, but you got to plug the vacuum cleaner in too.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can make all those marks on the carpet that you want. Are you vacuuming? Yes. Yes. I'm covering every square inch of this room. Yes. Well, why doesn't it look different? Well, I didn't actually plug it in. Was I supposed to plug it in?
There's the juice. So, okay, that's real. I trust everything you say because it
Oh, we know you do.
resonates
We know
so
you do.
well. I've studied mentors and mentors and mentors, and until I discovered you about 1.5 years ago, that was the pivotal moment in my ability to enjoy this life. Now I stay in step 4. I love it. I don't have a lot of resistance. The only real thing that I'm curious about is when you wake up and you realize you've damaged yourself so bad for so many years. You were gluttonous, you smoked, you did this, you did that. Now you got all this wonderful life in you because you realize you can
You're going to kill us today.
I just want to know if you can undo that. Can you undo the damage that has been done?
No.
You can't.
You don't have to undo it. You just start new. Because the desire, you see, let's say you've done all of those things and you've launched all these rockets of desire. So in your vortex is actually the healthiest being you've ever been. So when you begin moving in the direction of that, then you become that. The
cancer disappears, the arthritis goes away. Could you take the joints that have mild deformation and actually heal that? Can that come back? Can you regenerate that? I mean,
one day Jerry and Esther were driving down a highway in Orlando, and it was in the early days of navigational systems, and they were in their tow car, and they had a navigational system in the tow car, and Esther is driving, and Jerry was still in his navigational mode, because before the navigation systems in the car, Jerry was navigating with the maps. They're driving and Jerry says, you know, we're going in exactly the wrong direction. And Esther said, no, we're not. Jerry said, yeah, we are. And Esther said, how can that be? I programmed the destination. I did everything that Magellan said to do. We can't possibly be going in the wrong direction. Jerry said, we are. And Esther said, okay, well, let's go back to where we started, program it again, and then watch really close to find out if there's a glitch in the program or if I just did something different than the navigational system told me to do. And Jerry said, or we could just start from where we are and go where we want to go. Because that trip back. So here's how it works. You sift and sort, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, and all of that is part of that step 1, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it many times from us. So in your vortex, you've created a reality. It's a vibrational reality that's real. And the cooperative components are all being gathered to that. Oh, it's robust and magnificent. Even though you can't see it, we want you to feel the existence of it. So here it is, and it's a very high, pure vibration because there's no resistance in it. It's a reality that holds no resistance to itself. And your inner being is focused upon that reality that holds no resistance to itself. And your inner being is many, 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 we can't even put the right numbers or percentages to it, times a more powerful attractor by law of attraction to the reality that you've created than you are. Talk about leverage. Your inner being is gathering up the stuff, everything necessary. So here you stand, having thoughts and beliefs as you've demonstrated here, and that's just fine. Everybody has it. But you've been practicing thoughts of satisfaction, and you've been meditating where you've quieted your mind altogether, where there's been no thought, and when there's no thought, your vibration rises. So you've been practicing higher vibrations of satisfaction, and you've been meditating. So for whatever reason in this moment, you are in the same vibrational frequency of your inner being and what's in your vortex. And under those conditions, when you are vibrationally equivalent to your desire, then it flows over into your experience in the form of inspiration, of thoughts. Esther's grandson the other day said to his sister, who claimed that she didn't even think about feeding the dogs, he said, but it crossed your mind, didn't it? And Esther thought, I love you so much. Because all kinds of things that your inner being is thinking are crossing your mind, provided you're in the vibrational vicinity of it. Now, sometimes you don't do it, you don't follow the impulse, but all kinds of wonderful, meaningful, helpful things cross your mind. So when you are in that kind of receiving mode, then you can be helpful to others. If you're not in that kind of receiving mode, then you can't be helpful to others. And so this conversation with you is not about helping you help them, although we want that for you. It's about you discovering this receiving mode. So you say you've been listening and you've been appreciating and you've been feeling a lot of resonance with a lot of things that you've heard from us over time. And to a lot of people who are just in another meeting room hearing another lecture, Esther just looks like someone with very strong opinions. That woman really believes what she's saying. But for many people, it's just another opinion that doesn't jive with maybe opinions that they hold. It isn't until you've meditated and quieted your mind, it isn't until you've isolated the feeling of satisfaction, it isn't until you've decided to maintain control of your thoughts a bit, it isn't until you are in the receiving mode and receiving a thought that you follow and see the results of, that you really get how powerful your own mind is and how capable you are of being in concert with your own desires. Most people are not in concert with their own desires because they're looking at what is. And what is just too vivid to you. We're trying to make your vortex more vivid. We're trying to make your true reality more vivid. We want you to feel the wholeness of who you are. We want you to practice your satisfaction until it's more vivid, until it's more dominant. We want you to feel the bigness, the wholeness, the powerfulness, the invincibility of who you are. We want you to feel like Jesus felt. We want you to feel how he felt and know what he knows. We want you to know that you can be or do or have anything that you desire. Now, it gets a little dicey when you say, but I want to transfer my knowledge to someone who needs it. And we say, we want you to do that too. That's what we're all about all day, every day too. We want that too. But you can't give to them what you do not have. And you can't find what you want while you're doing it the way you're doing it. You cannot do it the human way, the human way, the human way, the human way. Let's just talk about it. Let's catalog it and pigeonhole it and call it good and bad. Let's put it in piles of Democrats and Republicans and wrong and right and black and white and gay and straight. And that's what the human world does. They take the results of vibrational flow and they call it life, and they separate it into piles. They categorize it, pigeonhole it, and condemn it, blame it, judge it. And we want you to mix all those piles up. Let's just make a big mess of a pile. It's got it all in it. And now let's understand that pile to have only two categories. People who are in alignment with source and under the influence of who they are, and those who in this moment are under the influence of the doctors or the disease or the whatever else. Just two piles, because you're going to find people in alignment in both the Democratic and Republican pile. You're going to find those in alignment in both the straight and the gay pile. The only thing that matters is, what influence am I under right here and now? Am I under the influence of my desire, or am I under the influence of a belief that contradicts my desire? And it doesn't take very long before you'll say, I'm under the influence of my desire and my belief, because I've shown myself that if I desire it and I believe it, it can be. So humans judge things on evidence and statistics. So the odds are, that's incurable. That's the odds. Well, where'd you get those odds? By observing the piles. The piles. Well, was anyone in that pile in alignment with source when you observed them? You see?